Assalamu alaikum and good morning to the industrial chemistry class. This is your Professor Dr. Main Akhtar Mughal from Dr. Mikazi Institute of Chemistry, University of St. Jamshire. I hope you are doing well. I'm admitting you all. So there are 64 participants. Are you getting my voice? आवाज आ रही है आप लोगों को?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So I was discussing last time we have discussed the glass chapter. So today I thought that I must explain you one of its types that is very much interesting and very much in our uses. Before that, I would like to go through some types of the glasses, and I have discussed this topic in one of my video lectures. Have you seen the video lecture on LMS? I have uploaded an video lectures on LMS also. So please go through them if you have not seen up till now. So it's about, first of all, let's discuss few types just to refresh our memories that what are different types of the glasses. So these are basically 4 or 5 main classes that are further subdivided into other classes, starting from soda lime, and then of course the lead glass, then borosilicate glass, whereas the aluminosilicate glass today is in our topic, aluminosilicate glass. We are talking about this glass. Now this type of a glass has an excellent thermal resistance and durability according to your, according to the knowledge given in our this chapter. And whereas the high silica has got 96.5% resistance towards, you can say, for the dropping or something. And then of course if you talk about the uses of these glasses, they are used in different they hold different properties. They are inexpensive, and they have the high density. They are very easy. Some of them are easy to melt. They have very good thermal stability. They have shock resistance power, and so on. So there are enormous or number of types of glasses holding enormous properties. Their limitations are there, and how they are now usable in our daily lives. We have to think over about that. Now, the types I've just explained to you, these are the main types are soda lime, toughened, borosilicate, aluminosilicate, and these are the types. Now, in our daily lives, if we are now using number of mobile phones, okay, you are holding number of mobile phones in your hands, or other devices like laptops, like other electronic devices. These all have glass screens on them. So today we are going to discuss something about gorilla glass. What is gorilla glass, right? You might have heard gorilla glass lagala hai nije matha, right? I'm speaking in Sindhi now. We have a gorilla glass screen. So what is gorilla glass actually? So now, because when you are, dealing with all these very sensitive electronic devices in your hands, you are always, fear of dropping them, or if you are always having a fear of that if you might drop your cell phone on the floor. What if the screen gets scratched, right? Or break? So we would be looking for some better option or some better thing that, that would not let us be in the fear for the rest of our lives, that if we have a very expensive phone in our hand or any expensive electronic device in the hand that has got, some sort of a glass over it, and we are always having the fear that it should not break. So we should be looking for some better options. So now, how come a gorilla glass is comparatively a tougher glass? Now, gorilla glass is always thought to be a tougher glass, a glass that has got a more strength in it, right? That is unbreakable, though that's not correct. Gorilla glass is also breakable, right? But the chances of getting break is a little bit less, right? As compared to the other glass forms. So now, who is the, what is the company, or who were the people behind this gorilla glass invention? It was actually the Corning Gorilla Glass. Corning, C-O-R-N-I-N-G. Corning was a brand you can say, known for making the Gorilla Glass initially. There are other brands also, but this was Corning. Actually, if you will Google it, You can find it on the web, the Corning gorilla glass. You will find a very interesting video on it, and you can see it, how the glass was made in the Corning gorilla glass factory. Though they reserve the right of their, I mean, copyrights are there, they are not showing everything because of the leakage of the secrets they are using, that made them stand out among other, I mean, brands, right? So there are other brands also that are forming the gorilla, this gorilla glass, but the Corning gorilla glass is comparatively a tougher glass, a little difficult to break or scratch, you can say. Now, please keep this thing in your mind, that it's not the glass that it will never break, but it is a little, you will put a little more effort to break it or scratch it. So there must be some chemical treatments behind its durability, or some secret lying behind it, that it gets hardness or toughness. So Gorilla Glass has some numbers like 5, 4, 3. And if someone says that Gorilla Glass, now zero, and it starts from zero, it's some sort of a table that is called Mohs Scale of Hardness, MOHS. If you will Google it, it's again on the Google website, MOHS, Mohs Scale of Hardness. And this means it's a table that has got some numbers on it, that starts from 0 to 10. Now this table tells us about the hardness of the type of substance we are using. For example, 0 means the softest, right? Whereas 10 means the hardest. So the numbers line between 0 to 10 have different, softness, different properties, from starting from soft to hardness. For example, the talc has number 1, whereas gypsum is 2, calcite 3, fluorite 4, and apatite 5. Whereas diamond, everyone loves diamond. I love diamond. So diamond has the number 10. That means it's the hardest. It's the hardest of all. So this is called Mohs scale of hardness. So this also, um, Gorilla Glass has also some numbers, like it lies, what is the number for the Gorilla Glass suggested are 5, 4, 3. Now, if somebody says that this has the hardness, toughness number 4, 5, oh, it's good. It's good. It's a little bit difficult to break the glass, right? So this can also break. Of course, the numbers that are Gorilla Glass is holding, that is 5, 4, or 3, this can also has the chance to break, but with some difficulty as compared to other ordinary glasses, right? So three main ingredients, as I just mentioned many times before, that we will be always be needing, because glass has been made since decades ago. We have been seeing glass since decades and decades. The three main ingredients that were used to make it were sand, limestone, and sodium carbonate. And they will be processed, and I just explained you in my last many lectures how the process of glass making it goes on, right? So now what is the process that makes Gorilla Glass so tough, so hard, so unbreakable? Is there any chemical treatment that goes on? Yes, there is a chemical treatment. What could be that chemical treatment? That treatment is called ion exchange process. Now the term ion exchange process, ION. Now I know everybody knows what is an ion. Ion is a charged particle, right? Having some charge. So ion exchange process is simply the method in which the sodium in the aluminosilicate ion is replaced by potassium. Now, as if you compare a sodium ion and a potassium ion, sodium is smaller in size as compared to potassium. So what will happen in this ion exchange process? You can read the ion exchange process in detail, if you feel like, from any website you like, okay, from any book you like, or in the physical chemistry books, you can easily go through the ion exchange process. It's everywhere. It's not that that's something that you don't you will not get it. You will get it. So the basically, what is this ion exchange process? It's the process simply in which the sodium in the aluminosilicate ion are replaced by which ion? The potassium ion. Now potassium has a bigger size. So now what will be having, or you can say simply that sodium is lighter in weight as compared to potassium. Potassium is heavier in weight. Now if for example if you have a wire gauze, a जाली, जैसे आप समझे एक जाली है आपके हाथ में, ठीक है, एक जाली है, and there are sodium ions fixed inside that wire gauze, right? They are stuck inside that wire gauze. So, and if you simply, what you will do in the ion exchange, what happens that if you simply replace those sodium ions, replace, right? Though that means you will take them out, replace those sodium ions with larger potassium ions. Now the size of potassium ion is a little bit more larger as compared to sodium. So that will become more stronger and more, that will be, make that wire gauze more stronger. वो जाली को और मजबूत कर देगा. It will make it more stronger and more durable. That वो ज़्यादा सख्त हो जाएगी, वो ज़्यादा hard हो जाएगी, because there are the ions you have replaced are now were bigger in size as compared to the previous ones, and it will become, you know, more durable, not easy to break or bend. So Corning Gorilla Glass is the most popular glass, and it is just because, again, the popularity because of the this reason. One of the reasons was that process, that it goes through the process of this ion exchange process when it's being shipped. जब उसकी shipping होती है, I mean when it's being ready and it's ready for the shipping and to be kept inside the different crates, it is then ready to, and then this process, that is ion exchange process, they apply this process to that glass and they dip it inside some sort of a salt that I'm going to explain it to you in my presentation, which I just prepared it for you people right now. So it simply this is a process that it goes through. After completing all the initial process, it ends up with the ion exchange process. That is the, in some mobile phones, on iPhones you have seen, it's when you will see the, I mean the properties of that mobile phone, you will simply see it has got something like that written on it, ion strengthening uh, properties. So this is, that means, what does that mean? That means the same thing, that it went through the process of ion exchange process. That mobile phone, that iPhone, we are just not talking about I mean the simple ordinary phones, we are just talking about a little bit more expensive phones. That is, for example, the phones that starts, that those have the prices above 30,000, right, rupees in Pakistani rupees. So we are talking about those phones that comes under the category of iPhones and many other phones that are that holds this property of having the Gorilla Glass, that have the Gorilla Glass on them, or the electronic devices that have the Gorilla Glass on them. So we are simply talking about those good devices. So they all went through or go through the process of ion exchange process in the end after they've been shipped, right? So I'll start from my topic today. So this was the brief introduction of Gorilla Glass, because this was not included in your list, but it is very important that you should know. It is something that nowadays everyone is, I mean, everyone knows, and everybody, I mean, hears from here and there that yes, my mobile has the Gorilla Glass. It will not break. It will not break, but that's not the truth. Even the Corning industry, they also claim that it's not, I mean, 100% guaranteed that your glass will not, Gorilla Glass will not break. No, but the probability of breaking it becomes less, right? That is only because glass is glass, you know, it's everywhere. This quotation I have read in many books and many, I mean, in many websites I've seen in the comments section also, that glass is the glass. Whatever you say, it will break. It will break. So it's never been guaranteed 100% that it won't break. But yes, the possibility of breaking it gets a little bit more less. So this is the main idea of telling you about this gorilla glass, right? So what is gorilla glass? Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
You are watching the screen? Okay, so this is your presentation today. I have made it a very short presentation. It's not that long. It will take only 10 more minutes and you will be done with your Gorilla Glass. So what is Gorilla Glass? Now, as I have given you a very long introduction of Gorilla Glass. Now, it's how it's been synthesized, developed by a renowned company called Corning, right? So as I just mentioned it to you, that Corning is the brand known for, I mean, initially making or preparing or synthesizing this Gorilla Glass, right? So what properties it holds? It's chemically strong. After decades, it's now programmed to be very thin, right? And it's flexible. One more point I want to add it, add to it. It's flexible also. Okay, it's very thin because everyone goes for the most sleek, most thinnest form of the glass nowadays. आप जब बाजार में जाते हैं आप जाके कहते हैं ना भाई पतले से पतला जो सबसे स्मार्टफोन हम वो वाला लेंगे जो बिल्कुल बारीक हो जो बिल्कुल बहुत ही थिन हो light weighted ho so we always go for those options that the device you are going to get should be very thin very light weighted right so these are the properties that Corning I mean put it as a first preference in preparing in this Gorilla Glass, right? So it's chemically strong. After decades, that means after years and years, this process starts in 50s, 1950s. It's now programmed to be very thin. And up now it reached to the state after 50 to 60 years that it becomes very thin, light-weighted, and much more resistant. That refers to be more stable. It just simply refers to be more stable, right? Whereas it is used as a screen of mobile phones, eyeglasses, that is the glasses we wear, mostly those that are expensive ones are made up of Gorilla Glass. So Corning is a renowned brand when it comes to Gorilla Glass since 1950s. There are many others too. They are saying that Corning is not the only one. There are other brands also that can prepare or that are known for synthesizing, making, or preparing the Gorilla Glass. Okay, so what could be the composition of this resistant glass that holds the property to be very thin and appears to be fragile? It appears to be fragile or brittle. What does that mean? कि वो ऐसे लगता है, you feel like that it will break. It will simply break, but it isn't at all. It ऐसा नहीं है. वो इतने आराम से नहीं टूटता है. It can't break that easily unless आप उसको जोर से जमीन के ऊपर फेंकें तो it will break definitely या कुछ और ऐसा हो तो so what is the formula for makes it's simply silicon dioxide, sodium, magnesium, and aluminum oxide. These are the ingredients that are used for making the composition. Composition is again the same this one, right? I'm not focusing on this very much because you on my last video lectures which there are almost 5 to 6 lectures on the website you can find these all these things there so let's start with something else in the year 1952 one of the Corning chemists was reacting now how does this idea came to their mind now this is a brief introduction of that history behind Corning's Gorilla Glass this page is the history. So let's start from 1952. One of the Corning chemists was reacting a sample of some glass, some sort of a glass. I'm not taking the name of that glass because it will again become the copyright and I have to, upload this to the YouTube channel. So I cannot write down each and everything here, but you can go through the Corning's Gorilla Glass video and you can see all the details related to this topic over there. So please go through them. Those who have the internet access, just get it copied, photocopied, and you can share it with your friends, or you can give them to those who don't have the internet access. Okay, so this whole process in the year 1952 started when one of the conning chemists was reacting a sample of some glass in a furnace at 600 degrees Celsius. The temperature hit 900 degrees Celsius. Or at थोड़ी सी देर में the temperature it raised to 900 degrees due to some fault, some sort of a fault was there. Now Don Stuckey was also a chemist. He was the chemist. He opened the furnace door to as was sure about to see something not really unwanted. I mean, he was, because the temperature hit so fast due to some sort of a mistake or a fault to 900 degrees, which was not at all appreciable. So he was a bit afraid and he opened the door and found his the glass which he kept turned into lithium silicate, that is Li2SiO3, right? It was turned to another form, a plate all white. It was so slippery that he couldn't hold it and fall to the ground, but instead of breaking it, it rebound means it bounced back. So he was amazed. He was, extremely amazed that how come that it just fell down on the ground, but instead of becoming into pieces, it bounced back, it rebound. It was actually what? It was a pyro serum, the very first synthetic glass ceramic, a glass white in color that could be used in as kitchen. Afterwards it was used, Pyro Serum was used in the, it was what he was there, what he found, it was Pyro Serum. You just Google this term Pyro Serum and you are going to know each and everything that this thing that he got in the end. And this all happened accidentally when he had a fault, when the temperature it ran from 600 to 900. This synthetic glass ceramic, this came into existence. A glass was stronger than soda lime glass. And what were its uses in afterwards in our kitchenware, in glass stoves, microwave ovens, and etc. These are few examples I have taken. So it was stronger than soda lime glass, right? If you have read the properties of soda lime glass, you will come to know why I have why they have compared it with soda lime glass. Now, what happens? The series of experimentation never stopped. They keep on experimenting because they were looking for something very hard, very tough, resistant, and flexible. So further experimentations were carried out to convert this glass to more strengthening and got a way of making or you can say got a way, a method that is finally they were looking for, that is soaking the glass to hot potassium salt, which I just mentioned it to you before, that they replaced this is something to do with the ion exchange process. They simply found the method of soaking that glass to hot potassium salt. After a long journey of different experimental sessions, number of failures and number of successes they come across with, Corning and co-workers came up to the idea to make such small screens easy to focus on. And finally, what happens in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, lies Corning's oldest glass factory, where ophthalmic pressing of glass in 1950s was done. Now, what is ophthalmic? It is used for eyes, that is glasses that are used for eyes. Ophthalmic means something to do with your eyes, eyeglasses, or you can say your glasses that you use for to see, right? This is something to do. So Corning's oldest glass factory, that is in Kentucky, and it's in Harrodsburg. It is the oldest glass factory where in 1950s where this process was done, and this was continuing over there. So what was happening there? But in 80s, now we were talking about initially in 50s, but in 80s, just see how much time they have passed. Still in the process, they were constantly in the process. The scientists, the chemists, the workers of the Corning industry, they were constantly, experimenting on different to find out different ways and methods till they hit the year 1980s. It is transformed to form LCD glass. The LCD glass, it came into being in 80s. So now what happened? The Corning CEO was challenged. He was asked, he was challenged. The CEO of the Cornings was challenged to make a glass which can't be scratched, to be used as an Apple product, right? Apple product means iPhone product. Now, what happened that phones were usually covered with a plastic material during those days. In the olden times, in 80s, phones were usually plastic made, right? Their glass was replaced by a plastic material. So it was some sort of a plastic in the beginning. So Corning formed Gorilla Glass uh, at that moment. So the first proper composition was made in Harrodsburg's factory in 2007. Now just see, 80s, the LCD glass, and in 2007, they finally got to some results and were successful in forming a Gorilla Glass that would be stronger and durable. So this was the company who formed what? The Edison's bulb glass. The Edison's bulbs glass was also one of their inventions. The Corning's Gorilla Glass factory, it was the same factory, same company who formed the Edison's bulbs glass, was now preparing a glass that was used to make billions of iPhones, smartphones, tablets, screens all over the world. So how interesting this information is, that they kept on, I mean, struggling to get something, and finally they got the product they were looking for, and they got up with some positive results, right? So the Gorilla Glass factory was just amazing, and was interesting to find out its manufacturing process through what. Now, if you go for the manufacturing process, it's simply a mixing of, again, raw materials. Now, these are raw materials that are not some, ordinary raw materials. No, they were gathered, they were, I mean, brought from different parts of the world. And then what they will do, of course, a mixing process, as you have been told before how the raw materials are mixed, I've explained. They went through the same mixing process, that is, they were groundly mixed, thoroughly mixed till it becomes homogeneous mixture. And it was never manual, right? Keep this thing in your mind, it's not manual. Large robots and powerful machines are forming that Gorilla Glass, um, uh, that raw materials, mixing of it, right? It was all done through the, of course, through the, with the help of these large robotics. So now a unique process was developed which took decades, as mentioned earlier, to get to this point. The goal is to achieve the thinnest, strongest Gorilla Glass ever being made. So now the raw materials. One huge bag of raw materials can make sheets and sheets and sheets of Gorilla Glass. Now, if you, I mean, I just could not put the pictures of this, I mean, video from which I got this all ideas and all this literature because of the copyright. Please go through the this video of Corning's Glass Factory. You will be able to see the raw materials, large, huge bags, right? And they were telling that this one huge bag, when it fills up to the end, to the top, what will it, I mean, will be left, you can get hundreds, thousands of sheets of Gorilla Glass, because it depends upon the, I mean, the thickness of the glass. It's very thin, as I just mentioned, it's very thin. So it was hundreds of sheets or of Gorilla Glass would be prepared from that one bag of that raw materials. That was very interesting to note. Okay, but so the raw materials now would then be oven treated around 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. At the now what will happen at the top of the factory, these raw materials were they will be flown down, उनको ऊपर से बहाया जाता था नीचे, right? In a number of days, it took number of days to flow them down, or from the top, they took it to the top of the factory, they did never, I mean, showed us the process how it goes. In the video also, they are not showing the process due to the copyright. They have their own brand secrets which they never wanted to reveal. So simply they told us that the raw materials were taken to the top of the factory and where they were flown. In a number of days, the molten form of the glass will reach the fusion forming stage where it gets cool, gets harder, it flows over the edges of the channel or feedbox, fusing together to the air without being touched, and both sides of the glass are in perfect condition to cross these number of stories. There were number of stories that the glass is flown and then cut into sheets. Now fusion process is responsible for, now what happens, a process goes there that is called a fusion process, is responsible for monitoring the glass thickness over 2 mm, that is 2 millimeter to 100 microns, comparable to one strand of our hair. हमारे जो बाल का एक बाल होता है ना, इतना पतला it becomes, right? It can be comparable to that. It was so thin but so strong. Wow. So during this whole process, it's never been touched manually, but only and only through robots. Keep this thing in your mind. The glass sheets are then laminated, right? Now, what is laminated glass? It's laminated glass is something, if you have read the type of the glass, you would know what is laminated glass. Laminated glass is something that, that goes through the process to protect something. I mean, to be it's used for the protection. It's some sort of layers are there. Could have that you just go through the laminated glass, what it is. So it's then laminated to be protected for shipping and handling. These sheets are then packed inside the crates, and as these are extremely thin, hundreds of sheets can be packed in one crate. As I just mentioned it to you, I just told you just now that they are very thin, so these can be packed inside the crates as these are extremely thin. So hundreds of sheets can be packed in one crate. Gorilla glass is one of the strongest glass ever been made. It passes through a chemical ion exchange process, which I just mentioned it to you, to make it that strong and strengthening. By simply immersing sheets, what is that ion exchange? Immersing sheets of glass into hot salt, where sodium ions are exchanged for potassium ions in the glass making, and glass becomes more stronger. So this was, dear students, about our Gorilla Glass and its history and the process it went through to finally, and it was done, started by in 1950s by Corning and his co-workers. They did a lot of efforts to get us through, I mean, to let us enjoy today the Gorilla Glass we are using for our, I mean, our all the electronic devices we are having. So I think this presentation is quite helpful to you, and you will be able to, I mean, go through this presentation nicely, and you will, this is the reference, that is CNBC Corning's Gorilla Glass Factory. So this was all about Gorilla Glass. I hope you will like this topic, today's topic, and you will go through it and you will learn it, and you will definitely, I will ask something about from this Gorilla Glass in your exams. And I hope you find this interesting also. I'm sorry I couldn't put the pictures. There were so many pictures, there were so many beautiful, I mean, video links there, but I couldn't share because of the copyright. I have to publish this on the YouTube channel. So they hold the rights and we have to honor the rights. So I just gave the reference so that the copyright problem is also not there. So that's it for today. Thanks. So if you have anything to ask, you can ask right now. Because your time is almost over, it's 9:26.
मैम
Yes.
मैम लैब की डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन कब से होगी स्टार्ट?
I thought आप यहाँ से पूछेंगी इसमें से कुछ. Okay, बेटा वो आप you can we will do it. Let's discuss it in some other class. Let's see. आप आपस में you just share your views among each other, and then let your CR know everything, and then he will guide me and he will tell me, and we will discuss, and I will let you know then through your CR and your GR. Okay. because that would be more appreciable, because you know, yes, I know you are anxious about that, but please go through the video lectures I have uploaded on LMS. आपने देखे नहीं है video lectures अभी तक? Have you seen the video lectures on LMS? I'm asking you people. Have you seen?
No, ma'am.
Why, beta? Please open the LMS and see for your recorded lectures. I have, uploaded till 7th week. I've been constantly, I'm uploading. So please go through the lectures there. The video lectures of practical work, lab work, and your theory work is all there. It's all there on LMS of University of Sindh, Jamshoro. So please go through it. Thank you very much. Inshallah, we'll meet next, hopefully, in our next class. And I will be coming up with another amazing topic. You will like it and you will enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed today's lecture. Did you enjoy today's lecture? Did you follow? I think you were not expecting.
Yes,
You were
ma'am.
not expecting. This was something unexpected.
Yes,
I did.
ma'am.
I did something
Yes, ma'am. Very
unexpected.
interesting.
It was something new, and because this was something very common nowadays, so I thought I must share something that is nowadays in, and you are supposed to know something about what is gorilla glass. Now today, after learning this, after gaining knowledge from this, you can also share your knowledge to the people who never know about gorilla glass. You can share your views also, that you know something about, you have learned something from your teacher, though it was not included in your types of glass. But I thought that this is something very handy, very practical, and you should have the knowledge of this lovely topic. So that's it. Okay, see you in my next class. Thank you very much. Stay blessed and have a nice day, and keep learning, keep watching, keep following. Okay, keep learning from my video lectures on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, ma'am.